people that just are at their wits' end and don't know what to do and don't know where to turn and don't know up from down. And we all know the story. Gonna hit record now. There we go. There's a lot of steps involved in getting this right. There we go. Welcome, everybody. ER Shred Come Alive call. Grateful you guys could all be here with us. We are going to have an awesome call tonight. We did have a few cancellations, and so I don't know if we'll keep an eye out if Brian makes it on here. Lisa is on here, so that's great. If Brian makes it on, that'll be another. If if any of you, I'm just going to put this out there, if any of you have anything that you guys would like to share after we talk to Lisa and hopefully Brian, if any of you guys would like to share an update or, a win or anything at all, I just want to put it out there that, we'd love to have you do so on this call. And rarely do we kind of have that kind of an opportunity. So just let us know. You can let me know in the chat, and then, whomever could kind of, inform me. We'll just do it that way. All right. First of all, what day are our group shredders on, you guys? Let me think. They should be wrapping up. They cleansed on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. This should be their very last day. So for all of the group shredders, the lucky you, St. Patty's Day group shredders, we want to see your results tomorrow. How's that? We want to see how you're doing tomorrow. We don't want you to just, get all that goodness and keep it to yourself. Please let us celebrate you. Please inform us of how you did and, how things are. And because it's just very meaningful to us. And we also know that it's just kind of this cool, it's a compounding effect when you have excitement. It recharges people that have kind of fallen off. People who have been doing it for any length of time, when they hear your results, that's what this call is all about. This call is all about stimulating that original feel that you had that just, made you feel so good. With that in mind, I really do want to read this again. What ER Shred is really all about. ER Shred is a nutritional dietary lifestyle empowerment protocol. By fully satiating the body's needs, we are able to take back control of the diet, which is the common denominator of overall well-being. Food can either be your poison and your pain, or it can serve as your fuel and your fortitude. Come alive and learn to feel your way to good health for the first time. Only you can do it. ER Shred provides the tracks to run on for ultimate self-discovery. And I want to put in a little plug for the community as well, because half the battle is the support. Half the battle is, do you have that environment to not to account to per se? I'm not that big on accountability, really. It's just more fun and it's more enjoyable and it's more everything goodness. So with that in mind, the community is a critical component of the ER Shred protocol, and grateful for all of you that come and play and show up. Let's see here. My wife couldn't make it tonight. She's with the children, of course. Our kids are out of school, so we are super busy right now this week. But I wanted to read one more thing to you before we get started, because this was very meaningful for me. And I just wanted to take this opportunity. We talk a lot about fate. We talk a lot about, how did ER Shred come into being and what is it about and why do we have it? And Susan was commenting on fate, and I wanted to read to you what she had said, because a lot of you might not have seen that post. A lot of you watch the YouTube replays. So this is for all of you out there in, podcast land, YouTube land. And really, maybe we could even just get that on YouTube so that you could watch her presentation on this. But I'm going to read to you what she had said. She said, relinquishing control to my inner voice is what put me where I am supposed to be, doing exactly what I was born to do. I have no doubt about this. Not today. In the beginning, it was scary as hell, but every part of the journey, even the parts I bitched and moaned about, served me in some way on my path. Like my health crisis, for example. As soon as I began to find answers for my health, the people who needed that information walked into my life. That part is really cool for me because I remember when I had my health crisis in June of 2020, I remember just being so motivated to help others. Like, oh my God, this changed my life. And I need to help others with this. It would be horrible if I kept this to myself, this information. And I know this is exactly what happened to me, Susan, is the right people just started to raise their hand and say, me too, pick me. I need help. I need that. I need what you have there. And it all just kind of unfolded as fate does. Then she says, activating fate, I believe, has a quality to it, like an electrical charge, static almost. So if you are making a decision or something keeps tugging at your heart and it scares you a bit, I think that's a footprint on the path of destiny. So that's from Sage Susan Rothman. And I just loved that. So I just felt like we need to take the opportunity to share that with everybody. Beyond that, you guys, we got our pack. So that's very exciting. I want to congratulate all of you out there, all you ER shredders. We got our pack. Just couldn't be more jazzed about it. Such an exciting thing. Why? Because seriously, like with the click of a button now, we can share that with people and they can jump on board with us in ER Shred. Whereas before, of course, we had to go manually build those carts and it was just a lot more labor intensive. We're excited because we can and we will reach a lot more people, which that's what we're about. I don't know about you guys, but when I like today, we found ourselves in a restaurant for my son's 13th birthday. For anybody that ever says that ER Shred is expensive, I would dare say to those individuals that I save enough money not eating out. I mean, we rarely eat out anymore because, and it's like Jesse once said, Jesse James Jamnick, he said, it's not a matter of, do I want to eat out or not? It's a matter of where do I want my dollars to go, where I can get the most bang for my buck, where it impacts my body the most positively in terms of investment and outcome, right? So when he said that, that made complete sense to me because we rarely eat out anymore. Why? Because I can eat at home. I can eat the absolute most quality, most wonderful, delicious, highly nutritious foods available on this earth. And I can, believe it or not, I can do that for less than it would cost to go eat out all the time. So literally, if you would just, we talk a lot in ER Shred about simplicity. Literally, if you would just take those dollars that you do spend eating out all the time, simplify your life and do more at home, do more cooking, do more prep, do more, simplicity. And you'll find that you won't believe you're going to be saving money and getting better food. That's my guarantee to you because that's what's happened for me. Our family, we eat at home more. We eat way higher quality food, and it costs us less than if we were to eat out all the time like most people do. So I love that. I'm excited
Sean.
about that. Hey,
Sean.
Jess. Yeah.
Hey, this is so cool you brought this up. I literally just heard a study. It was done where they investigated this because the common belief, right? The common limiting belief that has been plugged into our brains for decades now has been eating healthy is more expensive. And I just I want to open that up a little bit for people and think of it like this. Like, that was beautiful what you said, and you and I have had so many conversations about this. It's not the fact that we can't afford to go out to eat. It's like I'm almost disappointed. Like, I'm disappointed. I just did it for breakfast last week, and I was disappointed because my eggs didn't even look like eggs. They looked like, pale yellow garbage, and my potatoes were these like bagged potatoes, and I could tell the vegetables were out of a frozen bag. But anyways, listen, dollar for dollar, you will spend a little bit more upfront. That's clear, right? Everybody obviously understands that. You're going to pay a little bit more for grass-fed beef versus feedlot beef, so on and so forth. What we don't think about is this. For every dollar spent on processed garbage food, you actually spend 4 times that amount. Because what they don't tell us in the marketing scheme is that not only are you paying for the garbage food and zero nutrition, you also have to take into account the sickness that brings on people. And then you have to take into account the days missed from work. You have to take into account the days missed from your family. You have to take into account the productivity level that drastically goes down with the decreased health of the average employee across the world. So when you factor in the bigger scope, which is the big picture, right? Pound for pound, you're spending drastically less money. And if I don't want to say the numbers, but I'll bring them back and do a post for you guys. The numbers that we spend, government spends and such, on poor food, and then 4 times that amount. We're talking trillions of dollars that have been proven to be able, that could be put back in and solve a lot of things. So keep that in mind too. It was really cool you brought that up, and I just learned this. Again, I heard it before, but learned it again. So keep asking why, right? Like, why do we need this? Why do we do this? And then at the end of the day, remember, your health is more than just what the magazine has programmed you to think. Your health is more than the physique. Your health is more than, I get a kick out of the people that's still like, oh, you're just post a picture because you want to show your abs. And I'm like, well, if you think it's that shallow, by all means, power to you. I wish you the best, right? It's the byproduct. And it's when you do it for so many years. And then, as you know, Sean, the longer we go, the more in tune you get. And that's a whole nother conversation, right? We won't bring that up now, but then you don't even want to put bad foods in because you feel so terrible that you get to that ultimate point. And I wish that for everybody. So I just wanted to add that because you brought that up, and I thought it was cool to look at the bigger picture. It's real deep on the cost, and we're spending so much less if you just buy the quality up front.
Thank you, Jesse. That's awesome. And I dig it. I dig it. The other component of that is, replacing meals with modern science and nutrition, which is what we do with our partner company, Isagenix. And, Bob Sivright has pointed out that, if the average meal was to cost you, say, $10, and you were to invest in these meal replacement shakes, one per day, even just one per day, that you're going to save an average of about $2,000 per year on your food bill right there alone. And people just, it's good to consider these things. It is. I don't use it as a selling point myself because I think the value is there already. We don't need to, use that as a selling point, but because I want people that just want to change. That's what I want. I don't want people that have to be convinced. So I'm sure a lot of you feel the same. By the way, our next group shred is April 4th. And I can't remember the tagline. If any of you can remember it, put it in the chat. I'd appreciate it. But it's about getting ready for summer. It's about, getting your summer body on and all that good stuff. So join us for the April 4th group shred because that's going to be absolutely awesome as well. All right, let's get started with some testimonials. I know for sure we've got at least one person on here. It's going to be very fun to interview. I'll start with her, and that is Lisa Bruner. Are you out there, Lisa? I know she's out there.
Here we go.
There you are.
Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Doing great, busy. The kids are out of school, so we're running around like crazy, but this
Yeah,
week's
I'm picking
fun?
my kids up tonight at the airport. They're flying into Florida tonight. They're on spring break from college.
What part of Florida are you in?
Okay, so I'm in Palm Bay, Florida. It's close to Melbourne, the Space Coast. We see rocket launches.
Oh,
The
cool.
east
That's
side,
cool.
Florida.
Very cool. Very cool. Who originally shared ER Shred with you? Can you remember?
Well, I just, like a lot of people, I stumbled upon it. Just somebody in
Cool.
another group posted ER Shred and talking about fate. It was a time in my life when I needed some help.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I,
How long ago was that?
9 months ago,
Cool. Okay. 9 months. Got that.
9 months.
And what, just so everyone can get to know you better, I know you've been on before and this is an update, and I really appreciate you coming on to update us. But what is your passion in life?
Um, Kind of two things. I'm just passionate about living life to the fullest, making the best out of every day, being active, having adventures, and I do a lot to do that. And then the other thing, I'm trying to inspire others to join me to, just be healthy. Like what I've learned and what I'm doing, I want others to feel as good as I do. I keep saying that. I always want other people to feel like I do, and they can if they do what we're doing.
And you have helped people, by the way. I've heard your name come up, multiple times. People have said that, you had an impact on them, you inspired them to get going. So, you've had that impact, and I know how meaningful that is. I know how good that feels.
Yes.
And so
Yep.
I kind of know why that would be I understand why that would be a passion of yours, because it feels so good to see people transform and to see the changes and to feel like you had a part in that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Gosh, the
Yeah.
messages you get, people thanking you and just their excitement when they get the results and they come alive. And there's
Right.
nothing like that. It's just, oh, it's a blessing. A
Well, let
blessing.
me ask you this, Lisa. So, like, can you remember back your original? I mean, what I'd like to do is maybe talk about your original result you had with ER Shred, and then kind of like what has transpired since.
Yeah. So, well, I started following the group 9 months ago. And at that time, I'm getting older, I'm putting on weight, I'm going through a change. I'm just not feeling like I was used to feeling in the past. And I'm just not feeling good. And I'm researching things about carbs and different things. And then the ER Shred popped up. And it was totally different because I was at a point where I stayed away from butter for years. I was olive oil, right? And I was diagnosed with celiac in my 40s 13 years ago. And so that kind of ruled my life, where I had to find gluten-free bread, gluten-free pasta, gluten-free crackers, and then to get the ER Shred, where I don't need the gluten-free stuff. I don't need it anymore. And
It's
so,
an
yeah,
afterthought, right? That's crazy you point that out, because I also would try to go gluten free and it was like painful. And yet I've been gluten free
expensive,
for 20
pain.
months, 21 months, and it's like an afterthought.
Yeah, yeah. And so, okay, I'll stay on track. My first shred, July, got my husband to do it with me, and just loved how simple it was, with the shakes and the meat and getting used to doing the butter and eating pork rinds but day 6 for me, I came alive. You guys talk about it, and it happened. I did that with my first shred. I jumped out of bed. I went outside, started weeding. It's like 6 a.m. That's not me. I'm working in the yard. My husband gets up. He can't find me. I don't even know how it happened. It just happened. And I just knew things were changing. And this was it. I was hooked. This was
What
it.
was the, like, that come alive moment? I mean, this is called the come alive call. I mean, we obviously are all very fond of that. Um, I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know. It's like a conversion.
Right. Yeah. It's like I try to explain it, but for me, it was just getting up, waking up early and having this energy just to go get outside, be in nature. I don't know. And
I feel like, tell me if this resonates at all. I feel like when I would look at my children, young children, and I would think, how do they snap out of bed and have all that energy? And how do they go all day long? And then I would think, man, I would just kill to feel like that. And then all of a sudden I did. And it was like, whoa,
we
like
do.
I didn't think this would ever happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what this has given me. Just
Yeah.
a younger life, turning back the clock. I just feel so good.
Cool. So, and then did that, I mean, for those that are out there that are interested in such, did that show up on the scale and in the inches?
Yeah. Yeah. My first shred, I lost 10 pounds. I wasn't really good with the inches, but my gauge was I took pictures and I had these back rolls that we get. And so I went after my first shred, took another back picture and they were disappearing. So I got rid of the back rolls and I just knew I was losing inches and the pounds and then just lighting up inside. It was awesome.
What other non-scale, do you remember any other non-scale victories besides just feeling really good? Did you notice anything else specific?
Yeah, mental clarity, just feeling like I could remember things. I won't go into too much detail, but I remember remembering like who I worked with when I was in my 20s and their names, and I could see their faces, and that just felt different. I just knew things were getting clearer, and I was starting to remember things that I,
You came out of that carb coma.
yeah, 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 I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
tell me this, Lisa, what unfolded thereafter? Like, you did the shred, and then like what unfolded for you thereafter? I mean, the reason I
Oh,
ask is because, believe me, everybody is gonna watch you and they're gonna be like, okay, here's this gal Lisa. She's been doing this 9 months and she's still pretty dang passionate about it. Like, how would you explain what unfolded thereafter?
geez. Well, I wanted, coming out of 11 days, I wanted a plan because I didn't want to go back to where, so we sat down, my husband and I, and we had a plan where we were going to continue with the shakes and the meat. And we started adding in some vegetables, avocados, sweet potatoes, um, those kind of a few things. And then we're going to keep doing cleansing, 2-day cleanses, not just 2-day cleanses. That was a shift for me when I did the air shred. So now we'll only do 2-day cleanses. But so yeah, we went into maintenance, just added a few things back in slowly, and but just made it work in our life because
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to keep feeling good. And then I've done 5 complete shreds since then. I keep doing shreds. We do because it just takes it to another level.
Isn't it
Doing
different though?
shreds.
Because weren't Lisa, you were with Isagenix for how many years?
I came in 2015
Yeah.
and
Okay. So
and had
yeah,
great results back in the day,
for
but
sure.
it
We all
took
did.
me longer.
Yeah.
Took me a lot longer.
The only thing I was going to point out was this thing that we've all noticed, which is it's just so interesting how people, they'll do a shred, and whereas before, like, I kid you not, when I would coach people in traditional Isagenix, I would be coaching them and I would be like, ooh, I know this is kicking their butt. And and it would just take a very special kind of person to really do it and do it well. But most of the time, I think that I would anticipate that it was going to kick their butt. It was going to feel like deprivation. It was going to feel like punishment. I mean, just being totally honest. And now we have all these people who they want to shred again, and they want to shred again, and they want to shred again, right?
Yeah, well, okay, I'll be honest. I shared in the beginning, 2015, with 40 people. I don't know, maybe not even a handful stuck with it.
Mhm.
And now I'm starting just naturally sharing again because I feel so good. And they're sticking with it.
They're sticking with it.
They're doing multiple shreds. They're sticking with it. So it's different, and it's amazing.
If I were to ask you, Lisa, like, have you begun to learn your body's language? What would you, how would you respond to that?
Just it's a little more sensitive, like oh, I started in July, then so I went through the winter. I made some homemade chili, and I think just mixing the beans and the meat, I felt the worst I've ever felt having that. And I just knew,
Wow.
okay, it's not going to work for me. The combination of maybe the beans and the meat and the tomatoes, I felt horrible. And it was instant,
Yeah.
maybe, well, like later in the day or the next morning, but wasn't good. So
And so the body, because you stripped down to a baseline and you got used to operating, and maybe we could say you revisit the baseline, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
then from there, you're able to interpret what isn't optimal.
right.
And at that point, you're able to determine what specifically is wreaking havoc, what specifically culprit, if you will. I don't eat beans myself. I'm not saying that everybody shouldn't eat beans. Your dietary blueprints out there could be unique as a fingerprint, but
Mhm.
I don't eat any beans, and that's because of the negative effect that they have on me. I would just say this: I once ate these black bean chips. It's one of the worst things I ever did in my life.
Oh no. Oh no.
I mean,
Yeah.
because
So
like chips, chips, you just can't stop eating chips. You just want to eat more chips. And I ate a lot of those black bean chips. And that, all I'm going to say is that was a big mistake. What about your dietary blueprint? Just for all the people out there, are you like me? Like, I think my dietary blueprint is I'm probably in the way of maybe 24 foods that I operate with, and that are my base food blueprint. Would you say you're there? Are you more like a dozen or 2 dozen? Do you even know?
I haven't counted, but I can tell you I eat, grass-fed meat and steaks and fish, and then, my avocados, my asparagus, red peppers, onions. It's enough. It's not a lot, but it's just enough for me to feel good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
do you still feel good?
I do. And I don't miss the bread or the gluten-free pasta and that kind of stuff. I found a pasta made out of chickpeas and lentils. And
Uh-huh.
I'll have that every once in a while. And I'll have it because I know it's going to give me some fiber and some protein. It's not, empty calories.
Sure.
So I've been creative in that way, but
I
yeah.
love it. I just want to tell you that I love it. And I love it when people can just be open and honest, because sometimes when I say that my food blueprint is probably 24 foods, it sounds like a lot, but it's actually, compared to the average person, it's really not a lot. Um,
Mhm.
and yet to me, I don't feel any deprivation whatsoever. I feel like I really don't feel deprived. I think if I felt deprived, I wouldn't be able to keep doing this for so long.
Oh, no, and I'm
Um,
sorry, I forgot eggs. I eat a lot of
yeah.
eggs.
Oh,
I
good. Yeah,
eat my
good. I do
eggs,
too.
my grass-fed butter.
That's awesome. I love it. Let me think of another. Well, let me do this just since we have you on. Jesse, if you're out there, or Susan, if you're out there, if you guys have any questions for our teacher in the moment right now, Lisa, I just want to put that out there because Lisa, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that it scares them. The future scares them. Are you scared, Lisa? Are you scared of where do I go from here?
Heck no. I feel like we have this gift now that we don't worry about. I just know with the intermittent fasting and with the food I'm putting in my body, I'm not worried about the arthritis that my mom has. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not worried about diseases. I feel like we've got the best fighting chance because of how we're fueling our bodies. And exercise. I mean, I work out 5 days a week. I lift weights. I do yoga. Yeah.
I love it. Have your results continued to improve upon what you initially did?
Yeah. My muscles, I'm gaining more muscles. I'm more defined. And just the energy to want to do it, to work out and I play tennis, I golf, I mountain bike. We also have a home in Idaho. So I'm going to go back to Idaho in the end of April. I'm going to be mountain biking. I snow ski in Idaho. And yeah.
You are a real true ER shredder. You really are.
Well,
I'm so
thank you.
impressed.
You gave me this life and this energy.
I'm so impressed. I'm so grateful. Is there anybody that you shared with who has had a dramatic result as well? Have you seen this kind of result with other people?
I see. Yeah. I see. How many have I shared with now? I don't know, 8, 10 people. And they're coming alive. They're getting more energy. They're losing the weight if they needed to lose weight. They're lighting up. Melanie Stout, I don't know if she's on here. She lit up.
Yep.
And I have other friends who just continue to shred because they've got it. They see it. They see how good it makes them feel. They see how simple it is. And then they learn the science behind it, and then, and I know I'm vibrating on a different level. My mom and my father-in-law noticed it. They just enjoy my husband and I coming around, visiting them. And we're just vibrating at a different level.
Oh man, thank you so much. That's awesome, Lisa. You're the best. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me back on.
And keep coming in the group, because that's another thing that I've noticed about you is you're so supportive of other people. Are you doing that because you have something to gain? I mean, what's that all about? Why do you feel drawn to the community?
No, well, the community helped me, got me, to do this. I followed Mimi, Susan, Jesse, all of you. You guys gave me this gift. And so if I can support others and if I can encourage others, pass it on, that's what I'm going to do.
We love you so much. I just want to say that while I've got you here. We love you so much. Your energy, it's just, man, like, we're grateful for you. I want you to know that. And thank you. Thank you so much for being willing to do this tonight and kind of speak to the process. And thank you for all the people you're helping and all the support you've been rendering for all these, even strangers. Susan, what's up?
Thank you. Hi,
well,
Susan.
I just want to say to Lisa, you can see it coming through. You just have this glow about you. And, you hit all the buttons. I love what you said when you said a younger life, because it's that vibrancy, right? And, we look out and so many people have lost that. And, here you are like this beacon of light and you're sharing it. So she said, like you're a shredhead, like you hit everything. And I wanted to just speak to, because it hasn't come up about the celiac and the gluten-free thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I work in a functional medicine practice and we put a lot of people in gluten-free, and it's the same thing with the diet mindset. So you're looking for the foods that are sort of like the foods that you couldn't have and got you into trouble in the first place. And they have no value. They have a high glycemic load. They're problematic. And so I just wanted to put it out there like that, because it's so interesting to me, but I did it when I was in the diet mindset. Like I would do Weight Watchers. The first thing I looked at was, what could I have that was sweet, right? Same thing with the gluten-free. And so, just eliminating that is huge, and getting yourself where your body is. Do you have bona fide celiac? Like if you were to eat something now, you would have, yeah. So
yeah, I had the scope, I had the blood test. It's bad for me.
So then this must also feel like freedom to you. You found your blueprint. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love everything you said, honey.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for all your inspiration. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Susan, as well. We did have our next guest came on. So thank you so much, Lisa. We're going to let you run. You guys, I know the value you're getting out of this. I know people so well. And so I know, for instance, that someone like Lisa, comes on and they're like, oh, I hope I said the right things. And I hope that it was useful and all of this. Like, I know what we second guess ourselves. This is human nature. We have, insecurities. This is human nature. But Lisa, what you provided tonight, massive, massive, massive value. And I hope you know that. Thank you. Brian Fitzgerald, are you out there? Hey, look, Jesse's painted some of that wall. Jesse, you missed a spot. I see you've missed a spot there. All right, Brian Fitzgerald, I saw you come on. I'm going to look for you. Hold on, see if I can ask you to unmute.
There we go. Sean, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Brian.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Oh, man, I'm grateful you came on.
Yeah, sorry I was running late. I never can get that mountain time frame right on my schedule for some reason.
And yet you're here, and you're definitely on time.
Oh, thank you.
I'll encourage you as a newer shredder. I'll encourage you to go back and listen to whatever you missed of Lisa, because she's been at it 9 months now.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, right on, brother. Hey, I got to ask you a few questions, by way of introduction.
Fire away.
So, Brian Fitzgerald, where are you calling from?
Castle Rock, Colorado.
Castle Rock, Colorado. Cool. Okay. And who shared ER Shred with you?
I've been in Isagenix a long time, but Kathy and Bill Helwig shared the ER Shred with me right about the first of the year, in between Christmas and New Year's, and I started reading through it, and it just reading through the documents really resonated with me. So then I got started on the program, and I've been just loving it.
Okay. What is thank you. We're going to get into that. What is by the way, shout out to Kathy and Bill Helwig, amazing people, close dear friends of mine. What is your passion in life, Brian?
Oh goodness. How much time we got? I absolutely love the outdoors. I am outdoors all the time, fly fishing, skiing. I'm an archer. I have 2 beautiful bird dogs, so I'm on the go all the time. So
you're an ER shredder.
Yeah, I'm outdoors all the time. I love hiking in the high country. There's nothing more spiritual to me than being up above 10, 12, 13,000 feet and just enjoying sunrises, sunsets. It's a great spot to hang out for sure.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, and we connected. You and I connected on the hunting and the outdoors. So that it's a special bond when you meet people like that. That's just kind of cut from the same cloth.
Well, you're never going to find a better protein on the planet, right? Than something wild.
That's absolutely true.
And when there is absolutely nothing more primal than to carry a hind quarter of an elk out for about 4 or 5 miles and then have a nice steak on an open fire. There's nothing like that in the whole free world. And nothing more grounding, quite frankly. I always tell people that it's I'm an archer, so I just statistically I only get an elk about every 4 to 6 years. So it's not, you don't get one all the time, but usually someone in our group does. And you're backpacking an elk out we've carried him out as far as 13 miles out in a backpack. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of work, but there's nothing that takes you back through the centuries than to carry a 150-pound piece of meat out on your back to get it out of the woods. There's nothing more primal than that.
Yeah, totally. Love that. Love that. And we also need the fats. It's interesting because, if you just, guys, if you don't know if you know this, but if you just ate protein all the time, it can actually make you sick.
Right.
I watched a show. There was this guy, he was a survivor, and he did hunt and kill an animal. And so it was like, woohoo, we got the meat. He put all the meat in bags and hung it up in trees. Well, in the night, wild animals came and ate. They went for the fat first. They took all the fat. So he was left with only muscle meats. And he was trying to survive on the muscle meats, but eating muscle meats alone without the fats actually made him sick. And he couldn't continue on in the survivor show because you got to have, a balance of the two. All right, Brian, here we go. ER Shred, you get involved. And what is your ER Shred story? What unfolded for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, I have been with Isagenix for 13 years. March the 10th was my 13-year anniversary. So I've loved the products for a long, long time. I've had them in my body a long time. It's really been a constant for me. But the previous 2 years, with just all the BS going on around COVID, I tell people I gained my COVID-19 right around the belly.
Right.
19 pounds worth. Not thankfully I really do attribute Isagenix for me and my family never getting any of the COVID sickness, but so I think it really helps bolster your immune system. I don't know that, obviously I'm not a doctor, but I don't know
Sure.
that for a fact, but none of us were sick at all in our household. But being at home, man, eating poorly, I have affinity for guacamole and chips, so that thankfully there is something healthy in that guacamole, but not the chips part.
That's true.
So really got out of shape. I really noticed it, quite frankly, last year on a backpacking elk hunting trip. Really started to have poor performance, which I've been an athlete my entire life, and I never really experienced poor physical performance before. And it was quite challenging, quite interesting. No sleep for 7 or 8 days, having altitude sicknesses, those kinds of things. And I was virtually 20 pounds overweight. And so that was really one of the driving factors for me to really find something a little different to get my body moving again. And the ER Shred program just fit my personality really, really well. And
Yeah.
so
How long ago did you start it?
I started January 13th, I think, and I'm down. My lowest drop was 18, or basically cumulative 18 pounds. I'm back up a couple pounds. That first steak and shake puts a little weight back on you, but I just feel great. Lot more energy. Really the biggest benefit that I have to tell you that has helped me a lot is I used to eat Advil like they were going out of style. I had horrible inflammation. The last year and a half, I spent 10 months, 3 days a week at a chiropractor trying to adjust from my inflammation adjust my back when it was really inflammation in my system. And I so rarely take an Advil now at all. I'm really thankful for that. I think that's really changed my health the most, is being able to get some actual rest at night and then not having that constant pain. I mean, I literally was 3 days a week in a chiropractor for 10 months and was not getting any better.
What's changed around that as far as the chiropractor? Do you not need to go as much now?
I'm not having to go at all. Just
Really?
Getting the white flour and the sugar out of my system just has dropped my inflammation immensely. Now, if I'm in a day and I don't get enough water, I can get a headache coming on, but I really can eliminate that with more water and some electrolytes, with our replenish product. So
Hydrate, right?
Yep. So that's really helped me a ton for sure.
Do you know how much, how many inches you lost in your waist alone? Your picture is quite substantial from the look of it.
I do not really know, but I
I
definitely
mean, can
went
I
from,
just, is it okay if I show everybody this?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, check this out, you guys, watch.
I know I went from a
So,
36 pant to a 34.
yeah, in what amount of time did this happen?
That was just the first shred. So from the 13th to the 24th, something like that.
This was just the 11-day ER shred right there.
First one, yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then
And so,
and this, on this last one, so I would have done one in February and one in March. So basically one a month. I hit 172 on this last one. And now, like I said, I'm hanging out at about 174, 175. But
yeah.
I feel great. I really like the way it looks. And what's really been beneficial is just getting more physical activity, more weightlifting. We're finally getting rid of some of our snow here in Colorado. So getting outside more and more. So really looking forward to the summertime for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you'd had an opportunity to get out on the mountain and test out those new wheels.
We have a really cool deal here in Castle Rock. We have a 200 step incline as one of our parks, and so we've hit that about 5 times already. That's and then in the summertime, what I love about that thing is I can throw my whole backpack on and just go early in the morning and carry 50, 60 pounds up that thing and really get my legs into shape. So really, like I said, we've hit it 5 times since probably the 1st of March, and
Yeah.
that's just feeling really much better.
Let me read this. I think this will resonate with you. This is Ruby Lamoureux, one of our Hearts of ER Shred. She said, "We are convinced that the aches, pains, weight gain, and low energy is aging,
Mm,
that it's aging, and we need to get used to it." She says, "It's such a lie."
amen to that. Hey, don't let the no hair fool you. I'm only 30 on the inside.
Man, I love it. So any other non-scale victories? Did you notice the brain clarity?
Yeah, quite a bit, and that's been a bonus for Isagenix for a long, long time. Clear back in 2000, I had a really wicked car accident and had a closed head injury. And so I think that's really been supporting me for a long time, the good nutrition. But yeah, I think between dropping the sugar and the white flour, got that stuff out of my system. So inflammation was not as big a problem. And with that, I think came more clarity, more, more stick-to-itiveness on each project. Just like any man, I mean, I'm like the squirrel and off you go onto the next project. But it gave me more clarity. I've been a mortgage loan officer for over 30 years. So being able to sit there and get through an entire loan file without jumping up and fixing something else really, really was helpful for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your ER Shred journey? Whatever that might be. Is there anything else that you don't want to leave out?
One of my favorite pieces to this that that I'm really looking forward to revamping, Sean, and I really haven't kicked into that much, is when I got started with Isagenix, I thought I was going to be your parents, just blaze through and crush our Isagenix business. I had a really, really great first leg partner, a guy from Australia that just was a dynamic personality. And in 2 years, we enrolled like 800 people, and we just were crushing it. And we never put the community around it. And this group has given me that insight to go, okay, I think I have the energy to go rebuild that again, because I can see now how the community aspect, the supporting one another, to watch all the different feeds for people back and forth when someone has a question or a problem or just needs some support, just pure support. Man, people just come knocking at your door to lift you up off the canvas. And I realize like I just use such a business aspect to building it the first time, and it crashed like a 747 in the Hudson. It was terrible. And it really tainted me, quite frankly. I have stayed consistent in it the whole time for myself. I've never missed an auto ship, nothing in 13 years. But I put the business down probably 3 or 4 years after I started, because I was just like, I have not been a failure at anything in my life. I've been very blessed to be successful at pretty much everything I do. And I was pissed off, quite frankly. And watching how this culture comes together is making me want to come back around to see if I can build it as a business. It'd be really, really nice additive to my retirement income. So I'm really, really looking forward to that part of it.
I hope so. I hope so, because this is, for us, it's about reaching more people. For us, it's about, the lives blessed, and it's about the lifestyle, and the community and the culture is all part of it. And so everything that you're pointing out is everything that I was missing as well, and everything that needed to be. So therefore, I hope you'll come and toss those logs on the fire, because we're not competitive in ER Shred. It's a very cooperative, collaborative community. We all want the best for each other. It's not about who gets ahead and who makes more money and who advances in any kind of rank or anything of the sort. And that's really the parts, the icky parts of the industry that didn't appeal to me. And that's why ER Shred is it's just kind of custom tailored to our culture.
Well, and one of the things that I am actually most excited about for that aspect is crushing the old food pyramid. That you can just see that pyramid it's so prevalent if you just look at it from a world scope, how completely decimated the American health system is based on that food culture, that design, versus the entire rest of the world. And everybody lines up to back the FDA and all that stuff. And it's just not even, when you really feel it and you're vibrantly living outside of that, that culture, I can really personally feel how I can now go really make a difference. And not be so singly focused on just the products. Obviously, I feel the products are the best in the world, but that has to support your nutrition plan, not be your nutrition plan.
It's got to be a component. Thank you so much. That is important to point out. ER Shred has combined the modern with the ancient. That's Jesse James Jamnick's words. But it's not just the products. It's the community is part of it. The protocol is part of it. The dietary, elements are all part of it. And it's the empowerment piece is what's most meaningful to me. So thank you so much, Brian, man. You're awesome. I hope you'll keep showing up, because we want you here. We want you to go out and help another 800 people. No kidding. We want you to go do it. And this time, I think you're going to find that those people are going to be unbelievably grateful to you. And a lot more of those are it's going to stick. It's going to stick, and they're going to be empowered.
Well, and just the shift too, Sean, of not worrying about the business aspect of it. It's again, when all that was going on, when I really started, I owned a high-end mortgage company, 25 employees. I had a different money mindset to what I was doing. And you just shifting, like you said, just pure culturally to supporting people is going to be a big difference. I can just feel it. It's just getting up the energy and the nerve to go, I can go talk about that again. I don't have to be a closet Isagenix user.
I love it. I love it, man. Congratulations. You are officially an ER Shred warrior. You passed the rite of passage by coming on this call. Thank you so much. I know I said we had time for a couple more shares. I was wrong. I just didn't realize that these 2 shares that we're going to have tonight were going to be so meaningful. thank you, Brian, for that perspective. You're awesome. Please keep showing up in the group and just kind of show people what unfolds for you so that they can follow your journey and follow along and hopefully follow in your footsteps. I want to invite Susan and Jesse to close us out. Susan Rothman is our she's a nurse. She's a holistic nurse and a certified she's an herbalist. I call her Sage Susan. And then maybe Susan can turn it over to Jesse to close us out, and he can put that paint down for a minute and close us out. He's doing a good job. He's got it. Look at that. You can tell. Look at the.
He's quick.
There's the thumb up. He's got it figured out there. Good form. Nice form. You there, Susan?
Yeah, I'm here. Great call, as always. I love these calls and just hearing people's stories and just seeing, what's happening here. And it's just happening organically, so for people who don't know what we're doing here, what are we doing? It's simple. We're eliminating all food culprits, soy, gluten, sugar, wheat, all these things that weigh your body down. The spillover, simple nutrition that your body knows what to do with, not a lot of complicated meals put together, just really simple baseline stuff, ancestral and easy to do. And what happens? Our bodies come alive, which in turn our spirits come alive because we're enhancing our cellular energy. We're, I say it all the time, from your toes to your brain. And that's why so many people, me included, are going to talk about clarity, glowing skin, becoming playful, becoming more active, and on what happens with us. The other thing that we don't talk about a lot in the elimination phase is because of the way we're eating grass-fed meat, grass-fed fish, grass-fed butter, and the Himalayan pink salt, we're actually taking down the load of genetically modified foods. And glyphosate, just that one thing, disrupts so many things in our human biology, in our chemistry. I see Jesse laughing. In our chemistry, so we're doing all of that. And then we have the reset days. And I know they're cleanse days. I like calling them reset days because that's what's happening. Your cells are waking up. They're exchanging. They're sort of like the way I visualize it in my head is they're dancing. They're starting to talk to one another. You're the miracle. We're just supplying the fuel for that. And then coupled with all of that, so simple, so basic, and we have this wonderful community. I just want to share one result. That I have a girl on day 11 and she texted me tonight and she says, can I have corned beef and rye with mustard tomorrow? And I said to her, well, that's up to you, right? Because we want to empower you. And what I got back is, I think I'll have my steak. That is, Sean, like you were talking at the beginning, that is real change that people are finding on their own. So what is that? What is that? It's something innate about this. It's something innate. You rise, and that's why people are sticking. It's plus the feeling good, but I think it's deeper than that. I think it's like, I don't know what the word I want, like a driving force that this is where you want to be. So I'm thrilled to be a part of this. Beautiful shares tonight. Brian, I love what you said about the business. That's awesome. And then I'll turn it over to my brother, Jesse.
That was great, Susan. Yeah, I think Brian, thank you. And also Lisa, that was just, I was listening to everything. I was just back painting my wall, but I don't get yelled at. But man, Brian, that was probably one of the biggest compliments. I remember, Sean, when we started and you and I were talking in the beginning, and one of the biggest things was just helping people, helping the little guy, right? It means so much to me and you. And there's such a deep story to that. And every week that we get on here, that's all I think about. That's literally like, yeah, I'm so excited about people getting their health. I'm so excited about the bigger thing, but to just watch people get their life back, to me, this is what this is about, right? Like from day one, we preach like health is our greatest wealth. I fully believe in my soul. Once I had this realization, this is what snapped me so many years ago. Everybody deserves this. Everybody deserves this. Literally everybody deserves this. I don't care what you've done in the past. I don't care what mistakes you've made. I don't care. And none of it matters. Like, you deserve this because it's the foundation of what can catapult so many other things. We hear the stories of life changing and relationships changing, and the way that you work changes, the way that you show up every day changes, the way that you're there for your kids changes. Like, I need people to understand, like, this is so much bigger than nutrition. This is so much bigger than a protocol. So much bigger. So much bigger. And this is why we will touch millions of people. This is why it will keep going worldwide. This is it. All these little pieces, the shred pack, the hearts, all these you beautiful people that have been such a big part of this, right? Don't you dare, at least I meant to jump in, don't you dare give that up to me or Sean or Susan. You did this. Right. You did this. We just simply shared something, right? Sean shared it. He had the galls to share it. And Crystal was there. And I was, crazy enough to say, yeah, let's go. And, and then it was Susan and then it was Bob. And it was just this beautiful organic thing. And it's so beautiful when I sit back and I think about how all these pieces, all these people that I've known for so many years, but yet we were separated, but the universe knew better and it brought us together. Think of that as woohoo. Think of it as whatever you want. I have proven this. I've tried to prove it wrong. I have fought to prove it wrong. I am done. Like, I'm at this point of life where it's just so pure. It's so amazing. Sean, you asked, does results keep getting better? I have never felt better. And you know me, bro. Like, I've been really disciplined for so many years. Like, that's one thing that I can claim, that I will outdo somebody in this field when it comes to discipline for yourself with exercise, food, putting in the things, not cheating, not steering off. Like, I needed to prove all these things. And this is what led me down this 20-year road of all these diets and things, and so hardcore, which is so cool because then I can relate to everybody now, right? Of going through it. And I can promise you, from all the research I've done, the thousands of hours, the functional medicine training, the national board certification of health coaching, health and wellness, like, we are so in line. We are so in line with metabolic ultimate health. We're not curing people, but we are so in line. I forgot who brought it up, but Susan, you said you are the miracle. The human body is the miracle that does all. Give the body a fighting chance and watch it fly, right? And that leads into business and sharing and growth. And that's the beautiful thing about this, is it's all meant to be. It's all meant to be. It's all beautiful. It's fate, as Sean calls it. It's the universe. It's believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so thankful that you're here. Like, I'm bouncing off the kid again, bouncing off the walls like a little kid, because it's just so awesome. And, when that thing came out the other day and all this work and this groundwork, like, you guys are such a big part, and there's so many people to thank, so I personally want to thank the board, and every single heart and every single one of you that keeps showing up, that keeps being vulnerable, that keeps putting yourself out there, that keeps asking the hard questions. This is not easy. It is not easy to sit in your own poop. And I'm trying not to swear because I promised I wouldn't. This is not easy to sit in that. This is not easy to rip open those layers. This is not easy to do this hard work. And you all are doing that. So I want you to be proud of yourself. I really want you to try to be proud of yourself, because it's so dang important. There's a lot of limiting beliefs that will hold us back. And if you do that work and you'll pull through this, you'll realize that a lot of these things are fake stories that you've told yourself, or it's situations that have happened to you literally 30 years ago. It's situations that have happened when you were a kid, and you start to identify these things. And Sean, you want to talk about progression, right? I know you're there, and I know Susan's there from the talks that I've had. You get to this point with your nutrition that it's just so like, beepity bop. It's like every day, you don't even think about it, right? Like, I don't even think about what I got to eat. I don't think about what I cook. I don't think about what I'm putting in. Like, sometimes I got to remind myself about food. Like, it's just a beautiful place. But then you start to dig deeper. Then you start to add in different layers. Then you start to bring it to all these different things, right? And that's what's available for people. You can continue to elevate. You can do things like hot cold therapy. You can do things like dry brushing. You can do things that can add, but the foundation is obviously, I believe, the ER Shred protocol. That's the foundation. Without that foundation, you can build the most magnificent sculpture in all the world, but eventually, it's going to crumble if the foundation is not there. And I believe that's what this is, and why it's stuck, and why it's going to keep going, and why I'm so confident about the growth in the future and the worldwide expansion to millions of people. I'm just so grateful, Sean. I'm so grateful for it all. So that's what I got.
Me too. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you so much. And it's a great way to end the call. Thank you so much, Susan and Jesse. Wow, guys. I hope you guys got the charge like I do. I feel charged. I want to help more people. Tomorrow night, Lenny is going to have part 2 of his tribal training course, The Shredder's Way. And so if you're not familiar with that, then go join up at shreddersunite.com, and we'll post, updates about that in there. And you can join in and join that training course if you'd like. And it's all geared towards sharing the shred and teaching people how to provide a good quality livelihood for their families. And that's teaching them how to hunt, teaching them how to fish, how to gather. It's all good things. Love you guys so much. I'm going to sign off and thank you so much, you guys. We'll see
Good night,
you
everybody.
next time.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Great
Good
call.
night. Good night.
Good night, Shredders. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Lisa.
much.
Lisa and Brian, thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good job, Jesse.